Good afternoon. Hello. Welcome to the Hidden Figures podcast. This is a show where we interview successful Black British men and women from the generation before us and just try and get a good understanding of what it is they did, their story, how they got to the position they are, and so on and so forth. So my name's Damini. I work in HR as a consultant. I do kind of reward and diversity things, looking at equal pay audits and that sort of thing. I also have quite a few other businesses which I'd expect you'll all hear about as time goes on. But that's also why I'm very interested in talking to these quote-unquote hidden figures. So for today, I've got a guest called Comfort Momoh, who's got an MBE for her work in reversing the effects of FGM, Female Genital Mutilation. So Comfort, if you don't mind, could you just briefly summarise what that is and how you became Comfort?
Female genital mutilation is removal of the female vulva, either for non-medical or cultural reason. And there are 4 different types of female genital mutilation. Type 1 is when the clitoris has been removed, either totally or partially. And then type 2, again, when the clitoris has been removed, either totally or partially, and the inner lips, which is the labia minora. And then we have a type 3, when everything has been removed, stitched together, leaving a tiny opening for the passage of urine and menstrual flow. And then we have a type 4, which is unclassified.
That sounds very ghastly. Obviously I'm a man, so I don't have a vagina, but that certainly doesn't sound like a nice procedure at all. So I understand that you are half Nigerian, half Ghanaian, correct?
Yes, I am.
And you grew up in Nigeria.
Lagos, yeah.
So if you don't mind, could you tell us a bit about that? Who are your parents? I also understand that you've got 11 siblings, I think, or quite a few siblings.
I do.
Okay, so if you don't mind, could you just tell us about what it was like growing up in Nigeria?
Growing up in Nigeria was really fun. We were looked after by my grandmother. Great grandmother. She's dead now. She died at age 90. She brought up she had 11 children herself.
Wow. Okay.
Same mother, same father.
Yeah.
And my father was first of 11 children. They were all born in Nigeria. So my grandparent from my father's side were from Ghana and my mom from Nigeria. But my father was born in Nigeria and my dad is 82 this year. He'll be 82. So growing up in Nigeria was really fun because we had all the siblings, all my uncles and aunties were around. So that was really fun. And within my own family, I'm the first of 9 children.
Oh, of 9.
So,
okay,
big family.
Yeah. So I guess was that a lot of responsibility at a young age? Did you have to I guess most people speak about when they've got younger siblings, you almost become the second or the third parent or whatever. Was that your experience?
Definitely. But I always say my grandmother made me what I am today, bless her. Because then looking back, you get to think that, oh my God, my grandmother is so wicked. She makes you do all the chores. She was very fair though. She divide the chores and you have to do your work before you go to school. And then when you come back, you continue before your homework and all that. And I used to think, oh my gosh, she was a wicked grandma. But then looking back, having my own kids, and it was real discipline, really real discipline. And like I said, it was fun with other siblings, with my cousins and my uncles and my nephews around. We all grew up together.
Okay, so I'm from Nigeria as well. So when I go to Nigeria, certainly more so in the village, but you've got these massive houses or these massive plots of land and all different houses on the same plot of land and the whole family lives. Was that kind of your setup? Or?
Because we lived in Lagos we lived in Lagos, but then my mom tended to take us back to the villages and to meet uncles and aunties, but it wasn't I wasn't that close to my mom's side because unfortunately, hence my name Comfort, my first name Comfort. Unfortunately, as the first child, when my mom was pregnant with me, obviously looking forward for her mom to look after her during pregnancy and post-delivery and all that. But unfortunately, my grandma from my mom's side died 2 days before I was born.
Okay.
So hence
Okay.
my name Comfort to
Okay.
my mom.
Okay. Oh, that's a lovely name. Well, a
Yeah.
lovely story behind the
Thank
name.
you.
Okay. So how old were you when you moved from Nigeria? Or how long were you in
Okay.
Nigeria for?
I'll be 56 this year. I know women don't tell their ages, but I don't mind growing up gracefully.
Yeah.
I left Nigeria in 1985.
Okay.
So that's about 30. I'm not good in math.
Yeah.
About 35 years, 30 something years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what made you want to leave? What made you want to come to?
Because
the
my
UK?
dad worked for the Nigerian High Commission. He
Okay.
always traveled anyway, and
Okay.
hence we were looked after by my grandmother.
I see.
So because my dad was a chief accountant for the Nigerian, I think then it was called external affairs or something.
Okay.
So he always traveled. He's always away for 5 years, 3 years here and there. And during holiday time, obviously, we go to visit him. So yeah, hence my grandmother looked after. So I started my training at Lagos University Teaching Hospital in 1981 to 84. And I guess when I was in my second year, I kept saying I have to travel abroad too, just to have different experience and then bring that experience back to Nigeria or back to Africa. And yeah, and that was the aim really. And I remember then with my year group, they always laugh at me thinking, oh gosh, you haven't even finished studying here.
Yeah, and you're ready
thinking
to
about,
go
but then I had the foresight that I knew what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I had the vision, and then told my uncle that was living here to get the application form and things for me. And as soon as I finished over in Nigeria, I just came back. I came over here a few months after. Yeah.
Okay. And so, do you mind me asking? Because it just occurred to me. I think around the timing you said obviously you said that your dad's family was from Ghana, and
Yeah.
that's who you grew up with. I know around that time there was this whole Ghana must go
Oh
thing
yes.
in Nigeria. Did that affect you or your family at all, or not so much?
Not so much.
Yeah.
I guess again going back to my Ghana root, my grandparents, my dad's parents, been in Nigeria for many years, and my grandfather was engineer. For the Nigerian Railway Corporation.
Okay.
So they had the roots,
So quite,
deep
yeah.
roots there. And then I had an uncle who owns the Bini Zoo. I don't know, you
Okay.
might be too young
Yeah,
to
no, I
know
don't know,
that.
yeah.
We used to have a zoo, the only zoo in Lagos,
Okay.
owned by my
your
uncle.
I see.
And that was very popular then. So we
Okay.
had a really big roots in
Yeah,
Nigeria
I see,
then.
I see.
Yeah.
So
And like I said, my dad will be 82 this year.
Yeah.
And he went to Eco Boys High School.
Okay,
You can
so
imagine then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess even though you're half Ghanaian, I guess would I be right in thinking that you kind of identify with Nigeria a bit more? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Unfortunately, because I've only been to Ghana once, and that
Okay.
this was when my grandmother died. And
Okay.
again, it goes back because my grandparents lived in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
and yeah.
Got you.